a criminal she is and how unqualified she is at any speed. So she goes before, and this is a fact, by the way, an all-black college audience. No one really shows up. It's a small group of a couple of hundred people in an auditorium that could hold thousands. And her handlers drop curtains around the audience, the empty seats. So idiots like that alleged doctor who just called don't want to know the truth about their hero. And instead of talking about an uplifting message, something that a president should do to bring us together, unite us, she tries to divide us by making blacks feel that they're disenfranchised, by making the poor feel that they're disenfranchised, by making young people feel that someone owes them a living. Listen to the lie coming out of the mouth of this ugly creature called Hillary Clinton in clip 3.
Today, Republicans are systematically and deliberately trying to stop millions of American citizens from voting.
Hiss.
What part of democracy are they afraid of?
We're afraid of your Hitler-like behavior. I believe every citizen
has the right to vote, and I believe we should do everything we can to make it easier for every citizen to vote.
How many times should they vote, Hillary? As many times as they voted for your husband? 5, 6 times? Here's a little note. George Soros, probably the most evil man in the history of the world, next to, let's say, the overt dictators who killed millions. One of the most evil people to have ever been created by God is going to bankroll voting rights cases. He is going to sue states that want to make certain that only qualified citizens vote and only vote once. That's right. Now, why does George Soros want illegal aliens to vote? Why does he want unqualified people to vote? Why does he want people to vote as many times as possible? Because that's the only way that criminals can continue to ruin America. And now they're on the same page. Hillary Clinton with the big lie, George Soros bankrolling voting rights cases. You heard it first on the Savage Nation. Who are your heroes, though? I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
It is an upside-down world. Deviants, perverts, degenerates are held up as role models and called heroes, while the heroes of America are either not heard from or systematically denigrated by the vermin in the media. Welcome back to the Savage Nation. I do hope that the, quote, doctor who called me in the last segment who tried to attack me does not hurt himself or one of his patients by over-prescribing a medicine that people don't need or whatever. I just hope he goes home and takes a few deep breaths before he hurts himself or someone else. I got a wonderful letter about my new book, Countdown to Mecca, which I feel obligated to read to you. Yes, it was written to me by my number one sponsor, Craig Smith of Swiss America. Swiss America has been supporting my show from the beginning. They've been with me from the beginning. They're my largest advertiser. And he read my novel, and you got to hear what he said. I wouldn't read it to you if it wasn't unique. Michael, I just finished your novel, Countdown to Mecca, last night. Wow, what a finish. You literally had me by the neck, holding me into the plot, and then the twists and turns that took place. I wanted to use a part of my body to describe how I was held in thought by the ending, but chose to be polite. I know you hear it over and over, and I also know you know, but Michael, you're seriously in a class of genius that the world seldom, if ever, experienced. You are a true gift from God to man. It is the only explanation for a mind that can do what you do. I have read 4 novels in my entire life, yours being the 4th. I have never liked reading anything that wasn't about facts that I could learn from. What a fool I was, for you opened a new way of thinking for me. I have your other Jack Hatfield novels and can't wait to start them. I am so grateful I know a man like you, Michael. You really are something unique and beyond words to describe. Well, I read it because it's self-serving, number one, and number two, because it is a political thriller. And it's a way for me to get ideas out there about the dangers of Islamofascism and the weakness of our government military establishment that I generally cannot do in any other way. So if you want an enjoyable read and want to give something for Father's Day, there it is. But who is your hero? WABC line 1, what's your topic? Please go ahead.
Michael, my son passed away from cancer a year ago. Treated well in New York.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Your son passed happened?
He was treated very well New York hospital for cancer. 28-year-old boy. But Michael, you were his hero. Every day he watched you, heard you on the radio, we listened to you. You are his hero. You brought a smile to his face. Yes, the doctors were good, but there was no greater pleasure to see some liberal nurse or doctor come in the room, and we would have your show on, blasting away in between horrific treatments that this kid went through.
Oh,
and
God.
as a father to a father, you are a great American, and you are a hero to countless people in this country. And I just wanted to thank you for bringing a few moments of joy to my son through a very painful situation.
Do you care to tell the audience your son's name and his memory?
Sure. My son's name is Jerry Massaner. He was a Monmouth University 20-year-old student who got diagnosed with neuroblastoma. That's a pediatric cancer. He was 20 years old, and he should have gotten it when he was 20 months. And he survived for 8 years when everyone said he couldn't do it. And we have a foundation for him. We have just a tremendous support group for him and his family. But Michael, it was just a wonderful smile on his face when he would go to an MRI and they would ask him, "What do you want to hear?" And he'd say, "Can you put on the Michael Savage show?" Now, in New York doctors, that's like taboo. But Michael...
Yeah, I know. Most of them are very, very liberal. They have been brainwashed. I understand that.
Correct. And it's funny that it's ironic that I follow a doctor who just made that call to you. Yes, there's many good doctors, and we came across a couple of not-so-good doctors. But you are his best medicine. Please spell his last name again. I couldn't catch it. Sure. It's Jerry, Jerry, and his last name is Massaner, Messassana.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Massaner, I can only give you, I hate to say for Father's Day because it's heartbreaking to say it when you just lost a son, but I'm going to give you a Father's Day gift of my novel. It's all I've got to give you, sir. I have nothing else to offer you right now.
You can call me Jerry because I'm Jerry Sr., and I'm your fan for over 25 years. Michael, would you do me one favor?
Sure.
Autograph the book because I like to raffle it off at one of the benefits that are having this July.
Let's see if we can arrange that, sir. But I'm very, very sorry that you've gone through this, but you still sound like you have the energy to go on, and don't let go. Don't let go, and don't let the haters get you down. Please stay on the line, and we'll get you a copy of that book as soon as possible. Is there any greater loss than a person can experience than losing a child? I don't know. I've read about it. I hear that that's the worst that there is that we all have to lose our parents. That's just the order of things. But a parent isn't supposed to watch the child go into the ground. And that, when it happens, leaves a devastation in the heart and soul of the family that you could never imagine. It happened in my family. I know the devastation it wrought upon my parents and upon the surviving children, and the scars it leaves, because the survivor's guilt of the others is overwhelming. They say, it should have been me. Why wasn't it me? Why was he picked? Why did God do to him? You can't let that go on. You can't let that enter your head. You just got to accept that this is the way things happen, and you can't ask why it was him and not you or things like that. There's no healing a thing like that if you get into the self-hating. All right, look, it's Friday. We're supposed to have a little bit of a good time today. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I told you that I have a very, very intuitive personality, as rational as and scientific as I can be, and I can be like a laser in my analysis and my using deductive reasoning and all of that kind of stuff. I studied Aristotelian logic and mathematics. I can reason as well as anybody. But I feel something is going on right now in the world. I almost feel crazy to tell you this. I just have an intuitive feeling that something horrible is about to happen in the world. I hope that I'm crazy and wrong. And I hope I'm not bumming you out. Nature abhors a vacuum. And right now America is a gigantic black hole. It's a vacuum. There is no leadership on any level. We have elevated the lowest to the highest and the highest have been relegated to the lowest. And into that breach, something will step. That's what I fear. Now let's take another call. KSFO. Hope I'm not bumming you out. What can I do? I can't be anything but what I am. This is a 3-hour show, 5 days a week. So some days you're going to get me in one mood, some days in another mood. I'm not a consistent personality. Today, I don't know why I feel this way. I really don't have any answer for it. I didn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I can't say it was the sausage and spaghetti last night. I went to an all-you-can-eat sausage and spaghetti. I went to the cheapest Italian restaurant, a chain restaurant I could find, because you don't have to talk to anybody. It's like a luncheonette. And by the time I finished the first order, I didn't want the second, even though it was all you can eat. Now, a lot of fat people had left just as I walked in. They must have eaten 5 orders of their all-you-can-eat pasta, and they took home one that they made believe they wanted to eat there, and then they put it in the bag to go. I don't know how the business stay. I don't know how they stay in business. It's like the people I know who run Indian buffets, and you see the gardeners come in, all you can eat, and you see the gardeners eat 5 plates of food, stuffing it into their overalls in little plastic baggies. I say to the Indian guy, can't you say only 2 trips to the bin allowed? He's, oh, no, we can't do that. I said, you're going to go out of business. They don't listen to me. They don't understand that people will take advantage of your good nature. Just as Hillary Clinton is taking advantage of the good nature of trusting black people and trusting poor people and naive young people, it's the same thing on any level. She is literally stealing the truth from the air itself. All right, time for another call. KSFO Radio San Francisco, line number 3. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Dr. Savage. My name is Mark, KSFO. My topic is the heroes. I have 2 of them, if I may. The first is a policeman, a friend of mine's father growing up, and the funny thing was his mother had a bumper sticker on their car that said, if you don't like cops, next time you're in trouble, call a hippie.
That's funny. Yeah, my take on that was, when I get a liberal on the show, I'd say, you don't like cops? The next time you're crossing a dark street at 3 in the morning and a group of thugs crosses the street coming at you, and you could only make one call with your cell phone, would it be 911 or ACLU?
Well, I guess today you could replace the hippie with gang member, protester, or terrorist.
Yeah, they're about the same thing. That's what hippies have morphed into, correct? That's what they gave us. That is the spawn of the hippie. Obama is the end line of the hippie movement. What began with the beatnik has ended with Obama. He is the end line of that entire arc. In film they say there's an arc. The arc of the downfall of America started with the beatnik movement in the 50s, and it ended with Barack Obama, the most unqualified man in history to become president. And look where we are today. So what else is on your mind?
There's a young lady named Lauren Hill. She passed away from brain cancer. She was a basketball player at a small college. ESPN was going to give her the Courage Award.
I know that. Instead, they gave it to the psychopath, Bruce Jenner. The egomaniac psychopath, Bruce Jenner. I get it. Sickening.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. And, they're owned by Disney, I believe.
Well, okay. Do you need to know any more than Michael Eisner? Just say Michael Eisner or Iger, and you know what's going on. You don't need to know anymore.
Dr. Savage, you're truly a gem.
Well, I don't know about being a gem. I appreciate your call, and I'm sending you a free copy for Father's Day of Countdown to Mecca. I want to do calls right now. I mean, it's heartbreaking to play the sound, but the hate that Hillary's putting out, it's just so phenomenal. It was Goebbels, Hitler's propagandist, who said, if you tell a big lie often enough, it will become the truth. So now we find out that George Soros is funding voter rights cases around America just in time to try and push the Hildebeest over the finish line. And instead of lifting us up and telling us why we should vote for her as a woman, she then goes to the lowest common denominator and tries to stir up. Listen to clip 2. Listen to how sick this is.
We have a responsibility to say clearly and directly what's really going on in our country. Because what is happening is a sweeping effort to disempower and disenfranchise people of color, poor people, and young people from one end of our country to the other.
I would say shame on you, but you know this woman is incapable of shame. There is no way of shaming the class of people who have popped up from the swamps of the American political landscape. And she is perhaps the worst.